All right, guys, we should have Coach Clausen.
All right, can you guys hear me okay? So just a really good team win. You know, I credit our players and our coaches, especially for coming back on a short week. We had a good week of preparation. I thought our focus was good. I certainly want to give Virginia credit. I think they have a great program, and Bronco is one of the coaches that I have the utmost respect for. And to their credit, they never quit. They're a dangerous football team. It's great to see our crowd, our parents and fans who made the trip. And anytime you can get a win on the road in the ACC, it's a good win. So I thought we executed really well in the second half. You know, they came back and scored and had a chance to get back into it, and we responded. I thought we got good pressure on the quarterback when we needed it. We were a little bit bend but don't break. We gave up some plays and some yards, but for the most part, we kept them out of the end zone. And you know, our offense was incredibly efficient. You know, obviously we'd like to make some first downs at the end. But again, just a really good win.
Dave, I guess first off, the fourth down stop that the defense gets in the first quarter, how much does that trickle down into the rest of the game when they're able to start off a game like that?
Well, you know, then we came back and scored again. So that was, you know, again, we gave up yards, we gave up first downs. They're a really talented football team, but that was a huge stop. And you know, again, early in the game, how much does it mean? I don't know, but you know, you certainly like to play with a lead. And then the rest of the game, it became a 2-score lead because we went down, kicked the field goal, and the rest of the game we were up at least 2 scores. And I think whenever you're behind by 2 scores, you got to change your thought process offensively a little bit. And you know, so again, it was no question one of the key plays of the game.
Dave, going back to something you mentioned on Tuesday about being able to tell when your team was really focused last week, did you get the same sense coming into this one?
You know, Connor, it was a short week. And, you know, after the Tuesday practice, I kind of told the guys, I said, I didn't feel good about where we were. I said, I know that it's a short week, you know, and you guys are tired, but, you know, we got a game to play on Friday and we really got to focus up. And this is a game that we had to prepare through the contest, not to the contest. And so then we came back and we had a really good Wednesday practice. I could tell the focus better. I just think there was less errors, and then our walkthroughs Friday and today were really good. And I told them Thursday after the walkthrough, I thought we lost some ground early in the week, but we made it up, and I felt much better about things getting on the bus than I did after the Tuesday practice.
Dave, obviously your defense played really well tonight. I think one of the keys to that seemed to be the linebacker play. How do you feel that group is doing so far this season? Luke seemed to be all over the field.
You know what, Les, it's great to have depth. You know, we can keep guys fresh, and Luke did some great things in pass rush today, and Ryan Smenda made a great play stripping the ball, and, you know, we're getting DJ Taylor reps, and we're getting Chase Jones reps. And, you know, to me, that's the key. This was a long game. We had guys cramping. I mean, how many different safeties did we play? How many different corners? You know, you saw the whole depth chart out there. And, you know, that exact thing happened a year ago at North Carolina, and we had nobody to put out there. And now we have other players who are capable of, when a guy cramps up or is tired, you know, hey, take the next series off, catch your breath, and we got someone else fresh that we can put out there.
How ready was Nick Anderson to play today? And then what can you say about the status of Miles Fox and Nasir Greer?
You know, I'm pretty confident that we'll have Miles back next week. We'll see with Nasir. I mean, those guys both have muscle pulls. You know, again, and I've said this before, if today's game was for the ACC championship, I think both those guys would have played. But if we played them, there was a chance that we were going to miss them for the next 2 or 3 weeks. And with where we are, we have other good players, and rather than risk injury with them, you know, we got Tyler Williams back today, which was a great addition. And so we've got other guys we can put in there, and let's Miles get healthy, and hopefully he'll be good to go next week.
Dave, looking at the last 3 games, how close is the offense operating to exactly the way you want it to in terms of balance?
Oh, it'd be really, it'd be hard to find fault right now with how we're executing on offense. And so we just got to keep our edge, Connor. We've got a nice run pass balance. You know, if you look at the game, you know, they had a lot more, they had more yards than us, but all their rushing yards were at the end of the drive when we were playing prevent. You know, so we've got good balance. We rushed the ball for over 200 yards. We threw it for 270. And we're able to do what we need to do.
How much confidence does a win like this bring going into the middle of the season?
You know, every week is a new season. It has a new challenge. And so, you know, I think right now we are a confident football team. You know, and again, we get to enjoy this one for an extra day. But, you know, hey, Louisville's coming to town. And, you know, that's always a tough game for us. And, you know, good teams, they flip the page. So we will float back to Winston-Salem tonight, because that's what you do after a road win. You don't drive back or fly back, you float back. We will float back, and we'll enjoy it, and we'll have big smiles on our face. And tomorrow we'll relax and watch TV. And then Sunday, we're ready for the next challenge.
Dave, I know it's the end of the game. You guys are finishing things out, but how good does it feel to see Kobe Davis get a play like that where he gets to celebrate? Get celebrated by his teammates.
Oh, it's awesome. I love Kobe. He's just such a great young man, and he's had some adversity with injuries. And, you know, I'm really happy for him. He's just a great young man, and, you know, we love him. So anytime good things happen to good people, you know, it puts a smile on your face.
With that last field goal by Skiba, will you consider maybe going for it there? Because, I mean, it's still a 3-score game, and as dangerous as UVA is, you know, did you give that any thought?
You know what, if it was probably a little bit less, I didn't mean to say that. You know, if it was 4th and 2 or 4th and 3, maybe, but it was 4th and 8, 4th and 9. And part of my thinking was, hey, with the way the offense is playing, if we get down there again and get another field goal, then we make it a 4-score game. You know, so yeah, I mean, we went for it a lot on 4th down tonight. And I don't know how many fourth downs we converted. I would guess it was 3 or 4 of them. But it was just too far. And at that point, you know, I said, let's put the points on the board. We're up 20. And then if we have to kick another field goal later, that would put us up 23.
How good did it feel to kind of roll out a trick play and have it come, you know, become a touchdown?
For some reason, they didn't work very well the first couple of years here. So, you know, we're dusting them off. And I think that's a good feeling to have one of those things that worked that wasn't skunked out before. So.
Anything else, guys? Thanks, Coach.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Luke, I guess first off, just trying to generate the pressure that you guys are able to achieve in this game throughout. What did you see that maybe led you guys to believe that was going to happen tonight?
I mean, we've been working these pressures all camp and all season. The coaches have done a great job every week of dialing stuff up. it's kind of a matter of time before we got home, and I'm really glad that it worked out today.
I asked Coach about just that fourth down stop that you guys had really early on in the first quarter and how much of an impact that had just on psyche going forward. What was that like just as a player to start off that way and carry that into the rest of the game?
I mean, it's electric. I love this team. It's really fun. The guys are awesome to play with, and we have fun out there. And when we got that stop, that was obviously a highlight of the game, and it's a great feeling.
Luke, is this your best game as a Deke, maybe?
I'm not sure. It's definitely up there, but got a lot to clean up as well. So the 24-hour rule is in full effect, and we'll be on to the next one in a little bit.
As a group, how do you think the linebackers are doing? And 1/3 of the way through the season, it kind of seemed like you made big plays, Ron Sminda made plays, DJ Taylor had a really good game, Chase was great. How do you believe you guys are doing now?
I mean, we play hard, and we got a great bond in that room as well. We trust each other. We work well off of each other. We're always up there watching film together, meeting extra with Coach, and I think it's starting to show. And when you got a lot of guys that are genuinely happy for each other when we do well, when Schmenda had that strip at the end of the game, all of us were going nuts. When DJ makes a play or Chaz makes a play, we all go nuts. When you got that brotherhood and that excitement for each other, it really creates a special group.
Luke, how focused was this effort? It looked pretty thorough from here. I wonder if this just felt like a complete win the way last week did too.
Yeah, obviously there's stuff we got to clean up. We got to clean up some of our pass defense and stuff, but our offense did an amazing job tonight. I mean, every time that they had to step up, they did. And on defense, our bottom line was points allowed this year. And they might have went 90 yards sometimes, but we kept them out of the end zone. So it's definitely getting closer to a complete game. I think we got a lot of stuff to clean up on offense and defense in order to get to that complete game. But just got to keep working.
How much of a focal point was it I know their rushing game hasn't put up many numbers this year, but how much of a focus was it to make sure they were one-dimensional and reliant on the pass?
Yeah, they do a ton of stuff on offense, and we knew that going in. The coaches did a great job preparing us throughout the week, giving us different looks in practice that we'd see. So when we got here, it wasn't anything out of the ordinary that we hadn't seen yet. And that really helps the defense, like being comfortable and getting settled. So, we knew we had to stop their trick stuff. You saw like a couple of double passes, stuff like that. And we felt pretty comfortable that we had a good game plan to stop the run. So it really did come down to stopping that air attack, and we held up.
Luke, you had 2 of Wake Forest 6 sacks tonight. How did that feel?
It was great. Should have had another one. Pretty mad about that, but it was anytime I can help the team win or get off the field, it's a good day.
Luke, going back to what Connor was asking, is there like a mental fatigue in a game when like they're going to be trying to pass a lot on you guys and the drives? I mean, there were some long drives tonight that you guys were dealing with too.
Yeah. I mean, that's why you train though. You gotta train for those long drives. That's why we condition throughout the summer, throughout the camp, and get in shape. I wouldn't necessarily call it mental fatigue, but it's definitely a shift in mindset, a shift in play calls. And when they're trying to score touchdowns and need touchdowns to get back in the game, it's definitely a little different mindset. A first down won't necessarily kill you. So you saw that, a little bit of that in the second half, but we did well.
Luke, how long ago did you know that you guys were going to be without Ncaa and Miles for this one?
I mean, they were on a day-to-day basis. Our training staffs, they're doing a great job with them, and I'm pretty confident they'll be back.
Did their absence change anything?
Yeah, of course. I mean, they're game-changing players. But luckily with the depth that we have this year, guys prepare like starters, and they do a great job with helping those guys, even though they're not playing as well. So, it's kind of the motto of every season. It's some guys have to step up throughout the season, and I'm sure that'll happen again throughout the season as we go on here. But as long as we can keep having guys step up, we'll be fine.
You might have just answered my next question, but you've now been 4-0 4 times in your Wake career. What's the key to keeping this thing going?
Yeah, I was talking about that earlier. We've been here before in 2019. I think we were actually 5-0, and we kind of fell off a little bit. So it's up to the leaders and the coaches on this team to not let us get complacent and treat every week the same way that we have been, and keep this thing going.
You guys all good? All right, thanks, Luke. We'll have Sam Hartman next.
All right, here we go.
Sam, how did it feel to actually get to throw out of the heavy deep?
What did you say?
How did it feel to get to throw out of the Wildcat heavy deep, whatever that package is called?
Oh yeah, it was cool. Scored a touchdown. It was nice. Yeah, it was cool. It was fun.
How long did it take you to figure out how wide open Taylor was down the left side for the first touchdown?
Yeah, he was pretty open. But yeah, he was last read in progression. So, but offensive line did a good job, blocking, giving me time, and that's what happens when we play with tempo. Guys are tired up front. So that's what we do.
Sam, what's the player side of the conversation when you are looking at that kind of tricky play there that turned into the touchdown? Like, are you guys asking for that, or is that kind of a conversation that just happens between you and the coaches? What's that like?
I mean, you trust Coach R. He knows when those situations are right to call that play, and he dialed it up, and we've had that for a while, and it's a perfect opportunity to call it, and obviously it worked well. But it's all coaches, and we line up and run the plays and do our jobs and do our assignments, and stuff like that kind of comes and goes as the game flows.
Sam, what was the key to the offensive efficiency to start off this game? 7 drives, 7 scores, settled for field goals a couple, 3 times, but overall you guys were kind of cooking.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, again, like kind of going back to that last question is, coach calls plays, and we just roll with them, and we execute at a high level. That's what we're capable of. We got guys, all across the field that can make plays, and that was showcased today. And I think that's the talent we have. And the running backs run the ball well, O-line's protecting and blocking downfield. We're rolling.
Sam, it got pretty loud in here at points, especially on 3rd down. Did that have an effect at all on your, ability to run the offense, get the snap off, get plays in?
Yeah, we had a couple of times where the cadence was we had to, I was yelling all night, especially when the music was playing, trying to get calls out. But it wasn't as bad. We kind of knew coming into it that we had, the capability to, handle the noise. But there was times, and especially in the red zone for sure, that we had a, false start or two. But yeah, it got a little loud here and there.
Sam, Coach was talking, I guess, a lot about just the experience you guys had coming into this season, and just with a 4-0 start. Is there any validation right now, or just, sense of pride in what you guys have going so far?
Yeah, always, you win an ACC football game on the road, that's a big win. I've been here for a while. There's been through the losses and the wins, all throughout my career. Road wins are huge. ACC wins are huge. We got to, take our 24 and celebrate. And, we were happy in the locker room, but I think there's a veteran side of this team that knows that this is not, that was not it. And that's, we have, Louisville next week, and that's going to be a big one. And next week after that's going to be even bigger. And it's, we just, take our 24, take the bus ride, take a little bit after that, sleep in, enjoy the day off, and then get right back to it.
Sam, do you feel like a game like this where the offense was just so prolific throughout the entire game, do you think that really builds momentum going into the middle of the season?
Yeah, it does. And I think it also helps with the defense. I think the defense, us going in and them only having 3 points at half was, or I think they might have 10. I'm I'm not really sure, but they didn't have a lot of points, and that's an offense set or 3. It's an offense that scored a lot of points, and so I think that's been huge. I think the defense just being able to put not let them score, and I know they drove on them, but holding them to field goals and whatnot. I think that's one of our biggest momentum because our defense has done such a great job and all year, and I think we feed off that the most.
Appreciate you guys. What's up, Ethics? I'll see you in class.
All right, guys. Questions for Ja'Cory?
Right here.
Ja'Cory, the last 3 games really feels like the offense is kind of doing what you guys want to do. Does it feel like that out on the field too?
Yeah, definitely. I think as offense, we've been getting after it. I think everything has just been, together. We've been fighting together. Everything that we practice has been coming together. Really haven't had any games where, we're coming from behind. But, I think as we keep going, we just keep getting better, and we just keep finding other guys that can step up and play and make plays.
Ja'Cory, a lot of your targets tonight were crossing the middle of the field. Do you really feel comfortable in that zone?
Yeah, definitely. I like to, run out there and then find the open holes out in zone defense. It always open up, and then if I'm not open, if I'm being covered, then I know that, someone else is gonna make the play in the zone defense. But it's good to go out there and find them holes in defense. I like zone there.
Or it's not like the offense really slowed down a ton, but it did seem like in that third quarter something really shifted, and you guys were able to put together back-to-back touchdowns again. From your perspective, what was it that led to those scoring plays?
Coming in the half, we knew where the weaknesses were in the defense, and then we really just set normal plays that we already had game plan to run, and it just opened up in the third quarter. One that opened up for me in the middle, but it was just being able to find those zone spots in the defense and those open spots.
Is there an elevated excitement level when Sam gets to line up at receiver and still throw a touchdown pass, or is that just a normal play like any other touchdown?
No, that was a really good, little trick play. It was exciting, to see Blake wide open in the end zone. Sam throw the ball. So it worked out well, and that is a play that we practice every practice, honestly, and it was a good calling, good timing, and it worked out.
Do you guys get the sense that it's about time that you ran that play in a game? Because I think you guys have been running that set for 2 years, and this is the first time that I think a pass has been thrown.
Yeah, for sure. It's good to to see a play like that executed. We usually don't do too much of that, but when we do, it's good to see it be executed, and good to go for a touchdown for sure.
You guys good with Q? All right, thanks, Q. Well,
Hey, Ja'Cory, just how frustrating was it trying to get to Armstrong play after play after play after play? I know you all were focused on getting pressure on him, and you got to him, got 6 sacks, but it had to be kind of relentless, right?
Oh yeah, that just going forward into this game. We just looking to get after the quarterback. They have a pretty good offense over there and a pretty good quarterback. So we're just looking to really get after him. Make it not easy for him in there in the backfield all game. So that's what we try to do.
Ja'Cory, Sam earlier mentioned that the defense has been part of really building the momentum for the team going into the middle of the season. What do you think about that?
Oh, most definitely, yeah. We've been looking at just the key defense, make big plays each in the game, every game, every week. Just come out physical, fast, the whole entire game, and that's what we've been doing.
Ja'Cory, how focused did you feel like the defense was throughout the whole game tonight?
We were very focused. We had a good game plan coming in. I feel like we executed. We just came out, played our game. you know, a lot of pressure in the backfield. Got to hold to the quarterback a lot. You know, made it uneasy for him back there, and it was very productive for us.
How much of that game plan was focused on making them one-dimensional and taking away the run?
That was a big part of our defense this week. You know, they like to do a lot of different things, Virginia on offense, and we decided to take a lot of that away.
Was it a big deal for the defense to keep them from scoring in that last sequence that they had down here at the goal line?
Oh yeah. We didn't want to give them any easy points, so we just started keying the whole entire game to the finish.
Everything good with you, Corey? All right, thanks. We'll have
Travion, what was the key to this defensive performance tonight? I mean, Brennan Armstrong, a prolific passer, and you guys held them 17 points tonight.
The big thing for us was to limit the explosives. We knew that they was going to be an explosive team. They was going to air it out. They was going to try to do all these different formations, pull out trick plays. We knew all that was going to be in the works for us. So as long as we kept everything in front of us, just play good defense at the end of the day, we was going to at least contain him. We knew he was a great quarterback. He was going to find the windows, find the open receiver. As long as we stayed over top, tackled it up, made them work their way up the field, cut out the explosives, we was going to at least contain them at some point.
Trey, how much of that containment was also taking away their running game and kind of letting Armstrong throw the ball?
We knew they was going to come out and just try to get explosive plays through the air. We knew they may try to run it, try to open up the pass, but more importantly for us, it was about the pass. We knew he was going to be the key point in this offense.
You guys were probably prepared for him just to throw a lot regardless whether the run was going to work for him or not tonight. But is there like a mental aspect of just being prepared for the fact that you're going to see so many chances of receivers either kind of in your area or trying to catch those guys that, you know, it takes a little extra work to be ready for it?
That was something that we really prepared for mentally and physically. We knew they was going to try to get all the explosives through the air. So the game plan was pretty simple to us. Stay over top. Even when in man, we use your leverage, cover your guy as much as you could. We knew we was going to give up passing yards. He was a great quarterback. He was going to find the holes, the windows. Basically, it was pretty simple to us. Tackle the ball up, make them be very methodical at the field.
So off that, was it, you know, really validating of that game plan when you guys were able to get that fourth down stop and, you know, kind of set the tone for the rest of the game for the defense?
For us, it was a bend but don't break. Getting in those situations, we knew that we had to at least hold them. Bend but don't break. That was our mentality in all those like different situations. And try to get off the field, put the ball in the offense hands. The offense does a great job putting up points. So as long as we keep the ball in their hands and keep the other team scoring, we're gonna be good.
Travion, Coach Clausen told us that I guess after practice Tuesday, he felt that you guys were probably a little bit behind the eight ball during this short week, and he really felt that you should have been a little bit further ahead of the game, getting prepared. Did you sense that as well as one of the leaders of this team?
Repeat that. They kind of went out a little bit.
Sorry about that, Travion. Coach Clausen said that as of Tuesday, he felt that you guys were probably a little bit behind in terms of getting prepared for this game. Did you kind of sense that as well?
We knew this week was going to be tough because it was a short week. Coming from Saturday and then having to play the next Thursday, we was going to have a short week. Everything was going to be kind of quicker. So it was a different pace for us. It wasn't our usual scheduled week. So it was kind of odd for us. But then again, like once late in the week, we started to pick up on what we needed to do and lock in on how mentally prepared we had to be. It really wasn't physically for us. It was just mentally knowing where we were supposed to be, get the game plan in as quickly as possible. And I mean, as you can see, we kind of picked up everything.
All right, you guys good with Trey? We've got Ncaa here. Just want to try and get them before the bus leaves.
How y'all doing?
Hey, Nick, you now have the NCAA record for make percentage. How does that feel?
Feels great. Feels great. But I mean, it just tells me that I'm doing my job and I'm really focused on the team tonight because that's a huge team win. On the road, first road game. Feels really good to get that on the score sheet tonight. We're excited.
The 46-yarder, it looked like you had quite a bit of leg behind that, Nick. Do you think you could have hit it from 50 or 55 if you needed to there?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm just waiting for my chance. I'll tell y'all that every time. I'm just waiting for my chance.
I'll just keep rooting for the false start to move you past the 50 then.
Yeah, I think I might false start on my own one time just so I can get one.
All right, maybe 2 more here for Nick. Just gotta keep it moving here. The bus.
Nick, this is not the first time that you guys have been 4-0 in your career. What is it going to take to keep this thing going and not kind of get complacent?
I think it's just that, not being lackadaisical, not going into a game thinking we're 4-0, going into a game thinking the game is 0-0 every time. And no matter if we end up being ranked or not, we just have to go in with the same mentality. It's kind of that underdog blue chip mentality that we usually have. I think we need to go into that with every week pretty much.
All right, last one for Nick. You guys good?
Y'all good?
All right. Thanks, guys.
Go Deeks, baby.
All right, and that'll wrap us up for tonight. Appreciate you.